Hey there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So it's that time once again each year when the Oscar nominations have finally been revealed, and it's shaping up to be a pretty interesting year. So in this video we're going to dive in, take a look at each category and see which films have made the cut for the Oscar nominations 2025. So this comes to us from Comic Book Movie. Oscar nominations 2025, Deadpool & Wolverine snubbed, but Doom Part 2 and Wicked score multiple nods. So yeah, every single year we talk about the Oscar nominations. There's always that conversation that comes up about movies that have been snubbed. Whether you agree with that conversation about certain movies being snubbed or not, you know, it always rears its ugly head, and that's a whole nother video kind of conversation we could get into. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to just break down the categories and look at which films have made which categories, and take a look at the nominations, rather than talking about the kind of the snubbed movies and the kind of controversial aspect of the Oscars, if you like. So let's get into this information here. So the 97th Oscar nominations announcements have just concluded, and we now know which movies will go head to head with each other during this year's most prestigious award ceremony. There are the usual surprise snubs, with Dune Part 2 and Wicked picking up over a dozen nominations between them. So it looks like it's going to be kind of a battle between Dune Part 2 and Wicked at this year's Oscar, by the look of it. This year's Oscars, I should say. Nomination between them, but receiving nothing in the Best Director category for filmmakers Denis Villeneuve and John M. Chu. So Demi Moore, meanwhile, has received a Best Actress nod, only for her Substance co-star Margaret Qualley to be frozen out. On the plus side, the Thunderbolt star Sebastian Stan did manage to land a Best Actor nomination for his role in The Apprentice as Donald Trump. I've heard good things about that. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things about that movie. In what was most likely a dismal year for comic book adaptations in 2024, the superhero genre has been completely locked out. While these movies rarely make it into the big categories, there's nothing for Deadpool and Wolverine in the technical ones, despite Disney and Ryan Reynolds mounting a robust campaign this year. So here's the full list of this year's nominees. So this is where we get in the meat and potatoes, break down each category of the Oscars this year, and see which movies have made it into which categories, and let's see if anything interesting pops up here. So, obviously starting off with the biggest nomination of them all, the Best Picture Award. So, we have Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, I should say, Conclave, Doom Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. There's a couple of movies there that I've not even heard of. Emilia Perez, I haven't heard of that, to be honest. Anora, I don't think I've heard of that either, so I'm not sure what those two movies are. Maybe you guys know, but that's kind of the Best Picture category there. So, moving on to Best Director. I'm going to butcher these names, guys, but I'm going to try here. Jacques Andrade, Emilia Perez, Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, and Coriel Fargeet from The Substance. Moving on to Best Actor, Adrian Brody from The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet from A Complete Unknown. I think he's going to win, to be honest. Colman Domingo from Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes from Conclave, and Sebastian Stan from The Apprentice. Moving on to Best Actress, Cynthia Erivo, Wicked. It wouldn't surprise me if she wins. I think this is most likely going to be the case. Carla Sofia Gascon, Emilia Perez, Mickey Madison from Anora, Demi Moore from The Substance, and Fernanda Torres, I'm Still Here. I think in that category, Demi Moore and Cynthia Erivo, I think that's the two main contenders, in my personal opinion. You guys may have a different opinion there. So Best Supporting Actor, Yuri Borisov from Anora. Again, I'm sorry if I butcher these names. Kieran Culkin from A Real Pain, Edward Norton, A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce from The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong from The Apprentice. Best Supporting Actress, Monica Barbero from A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande from Wicked, wouldn't surprise me if she wins as well, Felicity Jones from The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini from Conclave, and Zoe Saldana from Emilia Perez. So, this is where it gets interesting as well. For me, Best Picture and Best Animated Feature are my two favourite categories. So, Best Animated Feature here, I'm really curious to see what's in this. So, we have Flow, we have Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. I think A Wild Robot is probably going to win this. The one that I would like to win the most is Wallace and Gromit, because I have the nostalgic factor and I love Wallace and Gromit. But I think the one that is most likely to win is The Wild Robot, but it wouldn't surprise me if Inside Out 2 gets it. So, yeah, Wild Robot most likely to win. I want Wallace and Gromit to win it the most, but Inside Out 2 has got a pretty good shot as well, I would say. So best original screenplay, Anora, The Brutalist, The Real Pain, The Substance, and September 5. Best original score in motion picture, The Brutalist, Emilia Perez, Conclave, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Best original song, El Mal, Emilia Perez, My Camino, Emilia Perez, Never Too Late from Elton John, Never Too Late, The Journey, The 688, Like a Bird, Sing Sing. Best cinematography, The Brutalist, Doom Part 2, Emilia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu. I would say Doom Part 2 is probably going to get best cinematography. It wouldn't surprise me. But then again, I think like potentially I would love Nosferatu to win that. I really would. But I think Doom Part 2 is most likely to get best cinematography. Best sound, Complete Unknown. That wouldn't surprise me. It's a biopic. Timothée Chalamet, he sang a lot of the songs himself in the movie, I believe, so it wouldn't surprise me if that wins. Doom Part 2, Wicked, Emilia Perez, and The Wild Robot. Best visual effects, Alien Romulus. Wow, I wasn't expecting to see Alien Romulus there. It did have good visual effects, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't expecting to see it there. Better Man, Doom Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, man, that has to win this category, surely. I think it's going to be between Doom Part 2 and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. But I think Planet of the Apes, man, really deserves this category, and I really hope it wins. Best Costume Design, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. It wouldn't surprise me if Wicked wins. Gladiator 2 could possibly win as well. We'll have to see how that goes, but I think Wicked's probably going to get that one. Best Makeup and Hairstyling, A Different Man, Emilia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. I think Nosferatu might have a good chance at winning. I'm not sure about these other movies. I haven't seen A Different Man. I haven't seen Emilia Perez, so it's hard to comment on those two movies because I haven't seen them. But Nosferatu, man, the makeup and stuff was pretty damn good on that. So, you know, when it comes to Nosferatu himself. So I want that to win, but we'll have to wait and see. So best production design, The Brutalist, Conclave, Doom Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. And the best editing, best ending, best editing, that would be a new category, wouldn't it? Best editing, so Anora, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Brutalist. Best international feature, I'm Still Here, The Girl with the Needle, Emilia Perez, The Seed of the Sacred Fig, and Flow. The Girl with the Needle, never heard of that. The Seed of the Sacred Fig, can't say I'm heard of that either. So there's two movies on there that I've not even heard of. But then again, they're international features, so that might be a reason why I've not heard of them. Best documentary feature, so Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Sugarcane, and Soundtrack to a Coup Defeat. Yeah, can't say I've heard of much of those either, guys. I don't watch a lot of documentaries. But if you know of any of those documentaries that you would think that would be a winner, put down in the comment section, guys. I'd love to hear your feedback. Best documentary short, Death by Numbers, I Am Ready Warden, Incident, The Only Girl in the Orchestra, Instruments of a Beating Heart. Again, I don't watch a lot of these short documentaries, so I have no idea about any of this stuff, guys. But again, if you have seen any of those short documentaries, you know, put your vote down below as to what you think should win that category. So, best live action short, Anuja, I think that's how you say it, The Last Ranger, Alien, The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent, I'm Not a Robot. I've not seen any of these either, guys. I do apologize. A lot of the stuff that comes out of the Oscars is kind of like really kind of like niche stuff that a lot of kind of general movie-going audiences and pop culture fans like myself don't really kind of see. So yeah, I can't say I've seen any of these best live action shorts. But again, put your vote down below. I'd love to hear what you think if you have seen any of these movies here. Best animated short, In the Shadow of Cypress, Wonder to Wonder, Yuck, Magic Candies, and Beautiful Men. You'll be able to tune in to the 97th Academy Awards on Sunday, March the 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Time or 4 p.m. Pacific Time live on ABC and Hulu, as well as in more than 200 territories worldwide. Yeah, I think apart from the Super Bowl, I think the Oscars is like one of the most watched TV events of any given year, apart from the Super Bowl. And like millions and millions of people watch it. So it's going to be very, very interesting to, you know, see which movies win which categories. But going back to the biggest category of them all, obviously Best Picture. Guys, Jump down into the comment section of these movies here. I want to know what your vote is for Best Picture of the Oscars 2025. Before we finish, let's just go through it again. So we got Honora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Doom Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, or Wicked. If you had to choose one of those movies for Best Picture 2025 at the Oscars, which one would be getting your vote? Let me know down below, guys. I'd really love to hear what you would put as Best Picture there. But guys, thanks so much for being here and joining me as we go through these categories and take a look at this year's nominations at the Oscars 2025. It's always interesting to see what the nominations are, but which one's actually going to win in the categories. That's going to be interesting when we tune in and watch the 97th Oscars when it comes out live. So guys, thanks so much. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave and consider becoming a subscriber of the content if you haven't already. It goes a long way to supporting my channel, so I'd really, really appreciate that. And as always, I will see you in the next video.